Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled The Halachot of Peri-menopause. So a woman, that's a fascinating example of Neflot Habori, the wonders of Hashem's creation. Before a woman is even born, she has several million, 6 to 7 million eggs in her body. The fetus has millions and millions of eggs. By the time of birth, it's closer to about 1 million to 2 million. And throughout the life, the number of eggs goes down to the thousands as the years go on. It's a fascinating phenomenon. A woman will never produce more eggs. She's born with 1 million, and as we said, just keeps going down and down. And over the lifetime, some of those eggs, a tiny percentage of those eggs, ovulate. So just an amazing study in Neflaot Habore. As a woman gets into her 40s, usually 48, 49, 50, 52, during those years is what's known as peri-menopause. It literally means around menopause time. And during those years, the body is slowly stopping the reproductive process. And eventually, by the time a woman's 51, 52, 53, 54, the average age is about 51 and a half, she reaches menopause where the body totally stops the reproductive process. There's no more menstrual cycles. Till that happens, those years, 1, 2, 3 years before that, it's a very irregular time for a woman where she can have extended times of a nida cycle, and it's irregular times, and it's not easy emotionally, physically, halachically, it's a tough time. The fact is that when a woman, even she doesn't have a normal cycle anymore, and it's irregular, the fact is once she does have uterine bleeding, dam from the rechem, then she is halachically a nida. There is a fascinating Pitrei Tshuva in Siman Kuf Tzadi Aleph in Yoredeya, Sif Katan Bet, mentions that a woman after menopause who sees dam for whatever reason, uterine dam, she'd be considered in the status of a tahor, and compares it to Yoredeya Kuf Tzadi Bet, where it says that a young girl, before she starts her cycle, who sees dam, that's not considered dam nida. So too a woman after the menopause years, that wouldn't be considered dam nida. However, the Pitkei Tshuva says, where's that from? The only exemption to having blood which is not considered nida is the Kuf Tzadi Sif Bet by a young girl. But once a woman already reaches the age of puberty, until she dies, if there is ever uterine dam, unless it's a specific makkah, a wound, which is discussed with a doctor and a rabbi, we assume she is the status of a nida. And the Pitrei Tshuva paskins that way, the Shevet Levi Rav Vosner's Asal paskins that way, and even writes, very often at the menopause cycle, it can happen. Not during the perimenopause, that for sure it happens, but even after menopause, it does often happen. The woman can have uterine dam. So the fact is, from a halachic standpoint, during the perimenopause years, when there is uterine dam, whether it's part of a nida cycle or some other kind of dam from the uterine area, from the rechem, she is considered a nida. What is affected may be the veset creating a cycle, because there's no set cycles very often, so that may be affected. But the halacha of having the status of a nida and the mitzvah to have 5 days and then have the 7 days Shiva Yemei Nakim, that still does apply. And always in a relationship, communication is so important all throughout the married years, and especially during these days, during these years, to have good, healthy communication between the husband and the wife, what they're going through, and the changes and the implications of a new stage in life, and the marital life, how that's affected, and how it's so inconsistent. Good, healthy communication can, Yetz Hashem, help a couple get through some challenging times. Shalom.